Carolina, but it's going to come down to what offense is going to show up. Game 1, they lost to Georgia 10-0. Game 2, they came back and beat Alabama 12-0, led by Jack Kirshner going 3 for 3, 2 doubles, 2 RBI, and his middle of the lineup mate Nolan Oglesby also had 2 for 3.
Meanwhile, Greg, Tennessee 36 hits in 15 innings.
Oh, they've been led by Nolan Brown, who's 7 for 11 so far in this regional. Drew Wagner is 4 for 7. And they also have a couple other guys, Rocco Stark. They are just offensively loaded.
Hitting .468 as a team. Some of that inflated due to a 23-0 win in the opener against Alabama. They beat West Virginia 11-3 yesterday. The big inning has been the key for Nolensville. They've scored 3 or more runs in an inning 6 times in this regional. That's 6 times in 15 innings. And Josiah Rao will have the tall task of slowing down this lineup.
Nicknamed Dr. J.
Rao is ready. Kaysen Boer digs in and takes the strike.
Good start for Dr. J so far, painting the outside corner with that fastball. Getting ahead quickly, 0-2.
Kaysen Boer, the table setter. Leadoff man, heartbeat of this team. He's their spark plug. And takes upstairs, 2-2. 3 walks, a hit, and 6 ABs in this regional. Bounces this one weakly to third. And no play for Eli Kakaris.
Pretty good pitch by
Boer's
Joe.
on.
Yeah. Rao made a good pitch, fastball inside corner. Looked like it got down the bat handle a little bit, soft ground ball to third base, and it's just kind of no man's land. And you look at how fast he is, and he's got the hashtag speed kills. Man, you don't want somebody to make soft contact that can run that fast.
Ryan Newell takes his strike. 5 hits, including a home run in this regional. Count even, a ball and a strike. Newell accomplished in jiu-jitsu, finishing 3rd in the Pan Am Games in 2018, and then another top 5 finish 2 years ago.
Newell's hitting 5 for 9 so far in this region, hitting .556, home run, 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored. Really been a key cog in this lineup.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Nolan Oglesby, the backstop for South Carolina. Catchers, Greg, in Little League, the most vital position.
I would totally agree with you. That ball gets to the backstop.
Boer takes second on the delayed steal after the Newell strikeout.
Well, Rao throws a breaking ball, the first breaking ball that he has thrown back door. Great pitch, freezes Newell. And then as Rao comes up to get the ball back from Oglesby, Boer just takes off running, and it's a tough relay to go catcher to pitcher halfway, and then pitcher makes a throw. It looks like one of the infielders got caught in the slide a little bit. I couldn't tell if it is Carter Kelly. Looks like he's all right.
In Little League, you can't leave the base until after the pitch is thrown, as Nolan Brown hits one deep to right field. Gone! His 3rd home run of this regional. He keeps on hitting. And there's his dad, Scott, the pitching coach at Vanderbilt. And it's 2-0 Tennessee.
You get the advantage, you get a big strikeout, and you come in first pitch, fastball, middle of the plate, and Nolan Brown just hammers this ball to right field.
We didn't even have a chance to properly introduce Nolan Brown. And he's making the grand tour, bringing in Boer. And it's 2-0 Tennessee. Gabe Shepler now looks at a breaking ball for a strike. There is Scott Brown. What a track record for Scott Brown. Think of the pitching, Greg, that Vandy has produced in recent years.
It's been unbelievable over the years. And just this year alone, having 2 top 10 picks in Leiter and Rocker. Then you go back, Walker Buehler, David Price, and on and on. It's amazing.
Line drive left field, that gets down. Cut off by Kersher. Shepler makes a big turn. He's into second, and the inning continues.
Love the effort by Shepler. Great base running. Hits the ball down the line. Kershler does a nice job of backhanding it. Gets it in quickly. Just when you get it in, it's hard to be accurate with the throw. Overthrows second base, and I got to tip my cap to Cole Brancata for being right where he's supposed to be, backing up at first base on that throw.
A single, a strikeout, a home run, and a double. Shepler's fired up, and this brings up Hutch Weaver, 5 for 6. A walk, actually 2 walks, and was hit twice in this regional, so he's been on 9 times, only retired once. They call him the Chicken Man, which means he survived Philadelphia. One and one.
I might be dating myself here, Anish, but it's got a little bit of a John Olerud swing, nice, smooth.
I like it.
You know, and doing what Olerud did too, probably 5 for 6 already in this region.
Olerud in college, one of the best two-way players. They named the Olerud Award after him, and had that season in the bigs with the Blue Jays when he flirted with 400 until about August.
Yeah, that was a big help for him on that one. I could not get him out.
Nolensville, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, about 22 miles southwest. Ball 4, so Weaver is on now for the 10th time in this regional. 2 on for Will Drucy. If you're wondering, the color scheme for Nolensville looks a lot like Nashville. Well, as we alluded to, there's a reason for that. Nolan Brown, who hit the 2-run home run, his dad, Scott, pitching coach for Vandy. So you have the Vandy-inspired uniforms. Pretty good 2-year run for the Commodores. College World Series runner-up this year after winning it in 2019. We'll get a pinch hitter here. It's Rocco Stark batting for Drucy.
Well, that's how good this team's going right now. They got Rocco Stark sitting on the bench. Stark is 4 for 7, hitting .571 with 4 RBI and a home run. And he's sitting on the bench.
Behind 0-2. He's got big power, too, for this age group. Athletic family. Dad, Zach, was a Marlins draft pick in '93. Mom, Beth, played basketball at Lipscomb. All-time points leader there.
See Nolan Oglesby behind the plate, the catcher setting up, and it was an 0-2 pitch, and he was trying to get Rao to throw this ball way off the plate. Rao left it out over the middle of the plate, got away with it.
Bounce to third. This could be 2. On the bag, 1 over to first. Eli Kakaris turning the 5-5-3 double play. And South Carolina escapes the first after just giving up the 2. Nolensville, Tennessee on the board. Nolan Brown's been the hitting star of this Southeast Regional. His 3rd home run, 2-0 Tennessee. Well, we go to the bottom of the first in Warner Robins, Georgia. Elimination game of the Southeast Regional. 2-0 Nolensville, Tennessee. Taylor, South Carolina coming to bat. And Schroff, Greg Olson with you. And we take a look at the South Carolina lineup. Landon Harris will lead it off. 2 for 4 in this regional. You got Eli Kakaris, who made the great play to end the top of the first. He's supposed to lead off, but you know we're changing the unwritten rules of baseball here. And on the mound is Hutch Weaver, the Chicken Man, for Nolensville, Tennessee.
Yeah, Hutch has done it at the plate. Now he gets the opportunity, his first time seeing the mound in this regional. Lefty, solid mechanics, looking to get ahead and keep that 2-0 lead, get his offense back up at the plate.
Landon Harris will dig in. Taylor, South Carolina, just 15 minutes outside of Greenville. Northwood Little League from Taylor's making its 3rd straight appearance in the Southeast Regional. It is the premier Little League program in the state right now. 5th time representing South Carolina in the last 7 regionals. Harris swinging, bounces one to Tanner Jackson at third. Strong throw, pulls Nolan Brown off the bag, and Harris aboard to lead it off for South Carolina.
Man, that looked like a changeup down and away. Gets a soft ground ball to third base, and Jackson just throw is just off the line a little bit. Nolan Brown unable to stay on the bag, and the speedy Landon Harris, who's already got 3 stolen bases, is on first base.
They call him Lando at first, and he took a big lead, daring Gabe Shepler to throw. Eli Kakaris, now the hitter. The first thing he wants to do when the world returns to normal is have his dad go back to work. And this is his words, because he's tired of hearing his boring conference calls. Take that, Dad.
That was really good. I like that one. One of my favorites.
Dad George is a development director.
Well, Eli showed bunt early, got the third baseman Tanner Jackson way in, and has since swung away. So it's
slicing foul.
I was about to say they're probably going to not be able to play the small ball game right now, chasing 2 runs early. You don't want to start giving up outs. You don't know how you're going to face this potent offense from Tennessee.
1-2, punched out to center field. Newell is there. 1 down.
Hutch Weaver working fastballs down. It looked like he's shown a changeup or two away, mainly pulling that fastball glove side. So it's into righties, away from lefties. Let's see if that continues.
Carter Kelly now the hitter, 1 for 5, but 4 RBI in this regional, and Harris has the attention of this Tennessee defense. Greg, at this level, you don't see a lot of lefties.
You really don't. And Gabe Shepler is going to be, his hands are full with Lando sitting over at first base. He's got to pop up after every pitch, walk out a couple steps to the mound, make sure that Lando's not going to steal or do a delayed steal and take advantage of a soft throw back to the mound. But back to your left-handed hitters, you can see the first baseman, no worries about a stolen base, so he doesn't have to hold the runner at first. So he can play back on the grass and at least give him a chance to field a hard ground ball.
Two-one line to right to short, and Pearson snags it, 2 outs.
That was that lefty-lefty matchup. Carter Kelly just got a fastball in on the hands. Does a nice job of hitting to stay inside of it, just couldn't get the ball over the shortstop Ryan Pearson's head.
Nolan Oglesby now digs in. Favorite band, AC/DC. Harris goes, the throw, almost going into center field, but a terrific play by Satinoff, possibly preventing Harris from taking third.
What a great play all around. Lando Harris takes off right away when he sees the ball in the dirt. Great play by Shepler to block it, keep it in front, and then still make a throw. And then you got the second baseman, Satinoff, backing up the throw because that ball gets into center field, and you know Harris is off to third.
Two-0, lifted high in the air, center field. Newell drifts back and makes the catch. South Carolina strands a runner after a leadoff single. 2-0 after 1. Taylor, South Carolina won the Southeast Regional back in 2015. It was the same Little League, Northwood Little League, and that's South Carolina's lone Southeast Regional championship. In the dugout, the team has a Williamsport sign. You see it there. They touch it before every game for good luck. And Greg, we have seen through this regional, it doesn't matter the age level. In baseball, superstitions run deep.
They always do. It just seems like it's the only sport that has these superstitions of don't step on the chalk, you got to wear the same shirt, underwear, you touch the hat, the coach's pins. I mean, the superstitions in this regional alone have been pretty good. This one I like it. It goes back to the college football, touch the lucky horseshoe over the door, et cetera, that college football made so famous.
What was your superstition?
Never stepped on a chalk line and had the same undershirt as long as it got people out.
Okay.
If it didn't get anybody out, then it ended up in the trash, and I started a new one with a new shirt the next day. I'm sure I probably
Tanner
had
Jackson. 2 balls and no strikes on Jackson. They call him Tan Man. All your years in the big leagues, I'm sure you ran across some very superstitious players. Who was the most?
You know what? I never played with him, but Turk Wendell with the licorice and had to jump over the top of the chalk line when he came in and went out was a unique one. But everybody has a little something. You know, you just don't know. They don't always come out.
Turk was a firecracker. Had the chain, right? The what was it? The claw chain. He had. It wasn't your regular gold chain that he was wearing.
Well, he had the mouthful of red licorice or black licorice when he went out to the mound.
Swing and a miss. Jackson down on strikes.
I got to tip my cap. Josiah Rao right there throws a 2-0 breaking ball to get back in the count. Fastball down and away, and then comes with a slow curveball. Really pitched Tanner Jackson very well that at bat. And you hope to see that because he's going to need to do it for the rest of this game to keep these big bats quiet.
Ryan Pearson now, the scientist, takes outside. They say he's the smartest kid on the field. He's a chess whiz, studies Latin, operates his own radio station with his dad and brother. Grounded up the middle. Kelly at short, over to first, quickly 2 down.
That's exactly what you want to see. If fastball down and away, good location, Pearson goes after it. I was actually looking forward to see if we got any video of Ryan Pearson with apparently he's the best sharpshooter around with an air nerf soft gun, airsoft gun.
Wow.
I was looking forward to seeing what that looked like.
So he's got hijinks. Big cut by Satinoff, the number 9 hitter. 11 years old. Parents Meg and Evan. Dad played a little pro ball in the Frontier League. I like his superstition, Greg. Take a shower before every game. That's a good one.
I thought that was really good. Yeah, very well brought up, you know, with good hygiene, taking a shower before every game. Can't wait, you know, if he gets to the big leagues, then he can go in, take batting practice, take a shower, you know, change into a new set of clothes, new uniform, go back out.
3 balls into strike. Boer, the leadoff man, is on deck. Strike 2. Satinoff thought it was ball 4. And now we'll get pitch number 36. This is significant.
Well, you know what, Jonathan Hagan, the umpire behind home plate, really has been consistent with that outside corner.
And Rao comes back to get this strikeout. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Rao. South Carolina sets down Tennessee. 1, 2, 3.
Big screen.
Yeah, we'll be watching. Good luck, boys.
As we told you, this Tennessee team has ties to Vanderbilt. Nolan Brown, their first baseman. His dad, Scott, is the Vandy pitching coach. So there's the connection with Jack Leiter and David Price. Mookie Betts happens to be a Nashville native, so he's got a rooting interest here as well.
I just thought that was very cool. Those guys reaching out to the team, you know, giving them their best. David Price telling them to get to Williamsport so he can watch them. I love that.
Tennessee has sent a team to Williamsport in 4 of the last 8 Southeast Regionals. Kersher at the dish for South Carolina, behind 0-2. 3 for 5, 2 walks.
Yeah, this team really has been just polar opposites. Lose 10-0 to Georgia in the first game, beat Alabama 12-0, middle of the lineup, quiet against Georgia, and just unloads against Alabama. And so you saw at the end of the last inning, Nolan Oglesby steps up, has a big chance, just misses a deep fly ball to center field. And right now, Kirshner gets down 0-2 real quick and then is able to fight through and keep the at-bat alive by spoiling a couple of good pitches.
Pops this one up. Satinoff on the outfield grass. He's made a couple of fine plays today. One was backing up at second base, and that's not an easy play for a young middle infielder.
No, that was a great play and great communication with Ryan Newell out in center field. You don't want those guys colliding. You'd love to see Newell maybe call him off as an easier play for him, but if you played with a guy like Satinoff at second base, he covers some ground, made that look easy.
Jacob Ballou now. His dad, Christopher, is the manager of the team. Hot shot pass short into left center field. Ballou holds it first. And a 1-out base runner.
That was Ballou's first hit of the region. He had been 0 for 2, gets a fastball away. First pitch, drives it through Ryan Pearson at shortstop. Nice piece of hitting.
Holden Koss taking low, 1-0. Koss, big Clemson fan. Good time to be a Clemson fan. Trevor Lawrence gone, DJ Uiagalelei already in the Heisman conversation. Travis Etienne gone, but they got 5 other running backs capable, and Justin Ross is back, and it's still Clemson and everybody else in the ACC.
So you're just saying they're going to reload again?
Reload. If they're going to lose this year, it's going to happen to Georgia in the season opener. If they beat Georgia, another college football playoff berth, another ACC championship, go ahead and book it.
And there it is.
Brown in foul territory for out number 2.
Weaver, the fastball down and away, gets a check swing pop up. Nolan Brown makes that look easy. It's just tough, Anish, when you don't face very many left-handed pitchers over your career in Little League.
Another pop out, and Pearson, the scientist, falls this one in. A tidy second inning for Weaver. Still 2-0 Tennessee. catch all the excitement from the Little League Baseball and Softball World Series tournaments and visit the first ever virtual fan zone experience. Visit littleleague.org/fanzone. We did not have this last year, Greg, and it is refreshing to see fans and to hear the crowd and to hear the noise. It feels like Little League. It feels like summer.
It does, and you know, I mean, that there are so many things. It was tragic last year, and one of them was Little League Baseball being completely shut down due to COVID, and it's understandable, but you think about all the 12-year-olds that lost their last year of Little League, and for me, watching these guys, a lot of these kids don't go on and play when they're 13 and 14. So their 12-year-old year in Little League is almost like their senior year in high school. You know, it's just a huge year for their baseball experience.
Kason Boer laces one to right. We've seen at least one base runner thrown out at first base from right field in this regional. Boer's 2 for 2.
Well, great piece of hitting. So first at bat, he hits a ground ball to third base. This at bat, he stays inside of a fastball away, drives it through second base for a base hit. Love the effort by Koss out in right field to try to get him out, knowing what a big base runner he is for this lineup.
Ryan Newell now the hitter. He struck out his first time up. First pitch swinging, and that one's grounded through the right side. Boer to second, 2 on, nobody out. And here is the man of the hour, Nolan Brown. And we can call him a man, even though he's just a boy. 3 home runs, including this last time up.
First pitch fastball, and he knew it right off the bat. You can see a little bit of a bat flip.
There was a kid in this regional who played on West Virginia by the name of Surf Guerra, who teams just pitched around and they walked and walked. They walked him with an 8-run lead yesterday. Tennessee did, as a matter of fact. We saw him in the very first game with his team down 4-2 and the bases loaded, get a free pass. I know that brings back memories for you. It might be time to maybe give Nolan Brown some of that treatment here.
Well, you got 2-0 count. You just threw a 1-0 breaking ball, and I got tipped my cap a little bit to Ryan Newell. He struck out in the first inning on a breaking ball. That time he looks for a breaking ball first pitch and hits a hard ground ball to right field. But go back to your point. That one sure looked like, hey, we're not playing around anymore. Now you got a 3-0 count. It's just tough to walk the bases loaded in the third inning when you're already down 2-0. You just kind of hope he hits a line drive at somebody is where you're at.
3-0 breaking ball in Little League. That is a sign of respect.
You're trying to get back into the count, so you have to throw something. You can't, like I said, you can't afford to walk him. And you know, I've walked people in bad situations. You just hope that you can get them to swing at a bad pitch like that and try to take advantage of them being so excited and pumped up in the moment that they make a bad swing at a good pitch, or they swing at a bad pitch out of the zone.
3-2 to Brown. Another breaking ball. This one hit well to center. Harris tracks it down. Strong throw in, and they retire Nolan Brown. We mentioned Surf Guerra, the big slugger for West Virginia. Well, he was the first batter of this regional, and here's why teams stopped pitching to him shortly after. 6 feet, 200 pounds, Greg. 12 years old.
Yeah, I couldn't believe they walked him yesterday. Down 8 runs, one guy on, 5th inning, and they put him on base, and the disappointment on his face. But as a coach, as a manager, you go in with a game plan, and I'm not going to let him beat you, you know. And so in the major leagues, we have a pregame meeting every day of pitchers, catchers, and coaches, and it goes in. Okay, we're not going to let this guy beat us. And so, it's Barry Bonds, it's Mark McGuire, it's Ken Griffey Jr. He's not going to beat us. So if he comes up in a situation like Surf Guerra yesterday, it's 8 runs, but he's not going to hit a home run here.
Little flare, shallow left, tough play. Going back, Kelly, 2 down. All right, I'm going to get the story out of you because you were on the other side of maybe the most famous walk in the history of baseball. Go ahead.
Yeah, 1998, Barry Bonds is not playing one night in Candlestick Park. I am closing with the Diamondbacks. Bonds comes in to pinch hit. He's the tying run. And I come in to face him in the 8th inning. I think I had 2 outs. And I had a 3-1 pitch. I rarely threw breaking balls behind in the count, but I threw one in this situation, like we just saw. Get to a 3-2 count, throw a fastball. Apparently it just missed. I tend to disagree, but walk him. So we got first and second, get the next guy out. 9th inning comes around. I make a mess out of the whole situation. At the end of the night, I end up walking 6. So I walked a couple more guys in the 9th. And Barry Bonds comes back up, 2 outs, 2-run lead, bases loaded. And I had done something that nobody had done in 47 years, which apparently was Mel Ott in 1947 or something like that. But walked in with the bases loaded at Buck Showalter's request. Got the next guy out on a 3-2 soft liner to right field, we'll call it. He calls it a line drive. I call it a pop-up. But and that was Brent Main. And that was kind of it. I threw so many pitches I couldn't pitch for about 3 days after that. It was, I told you yesterday when we were just kind of talking a little bit, I was going, if I had known that time that I was going to, every May 27th, it was going to be like the biggest internet thing, I would have had a lot more pressure on me in the situation.
The Weaver walks to load the bases. Well, I think you have to look at the glass half full part of this story, is that Buck Showalter had faith in you because he could have taken you out after 6 walks, right? He left you in there.
Yeah, somebody actually went through it, and it was like I have the most walks in Major League history for recording a save, other than maybe one guy who had like a 4-inning save. I think I have the record for most walks in a save earned. Well, to be honest with you, we were the expansion Diamondbacks in '98, and our pitching staff wasn't real experienced. So by the time that we got down to the end of the game, there wasn't a whole lot of other guys that had ever finished a game, let alone bases loaded, 2 outs, 1-run lead, and Candlestick in a rainstorm. So I was stuck with it. But like I said, if I would have known the pressure that I was going to be wearing it every year for 20-some years, I would have been a little bit more stressed out.
Well, I'm glad I could give you a couple of minutes of therapy here.
No, it's fun. It really is fun to talk about, and every time I see Showalter, it comes up about 5 seconds into the conversation.
Big spot here for Will Drucey. And a strike by Rao, 2-1.
Rao is navigating this pretty well. I mean, the walk to Weaver was big, but he tries to throw a 3-2 breaking ball right there. He throws a good fastball outside corner. Another outside corner fastball. His location's been pretty good. It's just more of an up-down. And let's see if, I know the coaches are calling the game from the dugout usually, probably about 99% of the time. Let's see if we see that soft breaking ball that's been so effective.
There it is. Did Drucey hold up? He did, and it's a full count. Big spot in the game. 3-2, bases loaded, 2 outs.
Well, that was a good call by third base umpire Harold Brannon. He did not go. Good pitch, though.
Drucey still fighting. First at-bat of the game, he was pinch hit for in the first. Rocco Stark hit into a double play. Drucey 5 for 8, 5 RBI in this regional. Rao up to 59 pitches. Line drive, foul. So there are pitching thresholds, and we'll get into this as it matters. In Rao's case, now it's 60 pitches. He is done for the regional. So if you're in that 36 to 50 range, 2 days of rest, mandatory, 51 to 65, 3 days rest. The regional ends Wednesday, so as soon as he crossed that 50 pitch mark, he was done. Ball 4, great at bat by Drucy, and he forces in a run.
Solid at bat. Good take on that fastball. Looked like it missed by about 5 or 6 inches. You can't say enough. Drucy getting his first at bat of the game, and he comes into that situation, fouls off a really good pitch before that. Let's see if we're going to have a little mound visit. I would think this would be more of a motivational talk right now, but you just never know.
Strike, little outside. Or I think they're on number 7, number 8. It says pound fastballs, all right? Throw strikes here, bases loaded, no walks. They hit it. Infield, play deep, come get it. Make an effort, dive, take the easy force, all right? Bases are loaded, take the easy force, all right? Okay, take a deep breath. You got it. Have fun.
Manager Christopher Ballou. A little word of encouragement for his boys out there.
No, I love that. He starts out with, hey, here's where we're at in the order. Let's pound strikes, throw good fastballs, get ahead. Don't go with the no walks a whole lot. You don't want to give them something negative to think about, but for the most part, giving everybody, hey, dive, lay out, keep it in the infield. I love the talk. Take a deep breath, walks off. It was perfect.
Greg, we've seen at times, breaking ball first approach from Josiah Rao.
Well,
here's a fastball. He pitches backwards.
Yeah, a little bit, but we've got Drew Wagner coming off the bench right here in this situation. Wagner's already got a grand slam in this regional. This isn't your normal 7-hole hitter.
Wagner lays off. It's 2-1. 4 for 7. 8 RBI in this regional.
There aren't too many Little League teams that are lucky enough to have a guy with 8 RBIs in a couple games sitting on the bench.
And he was looking for 4 more right there.
Well, let's see. Look at him. He's choking up on the bat. He's looking to make good hard contact. This team is well taught. I love that.
Wagner in the state tournament had a pinch hit grand slam. Big guitar player, electric and acoustic. Turned to 12 just last month. How about the shades? David Ortiz is his favorite player, so he's got the shade game down.
Fouls off a couple good pitches. I like that he wears the yellow sleeve for luck. Doesn't wear it on his throwing arm, but kind of matches the uni. A little bit, kind of a gold. He called it yellow, but a little bit of a gold matches the uni.
Rao comes back to paint the corner with the fastball. And Tennessee gets one, but they strand the bases loaded. ESPN presented by T-Mobile. Warner Robins, Georgia, the site for this Southeast Regional. We started with 8 teams. We're down to 4. We will know at least one team going to Williamsport by the end of the night. Florida and Georgia play in the 7 p.m. game. That's a semifinal, and without the international teams this year, the 8 U.S. regionals will send 2 teams, not 1, to the Little League World Series. So the winner of Florida-Georgia will advance to the championship game in this regional. That'll be for seeding, but if they win the semifinal, they will already head to Williamsport. The loser of that game will play the winner of this game, Tennessee and South Carolina. That game will be tomorrow, and that will produce the second team to go to Williamsport. Nine, 1, and 2. Josiah Rao, the pitcher for Taylor, South Carolina, will lead it off.
In his bio, his favorite thing about Little League baseball was the short distance to home plate. He goes, because you know I'm a pitcher, right?
Rao down on strikes. It's 60 feet between bases, 46 feet to the mound. Two-thirds the size of Major League fields.
Hutch Weaver working that glove side fastball in. Probably looked like it had a little bit of a cut to it. Brings up Landon Harris.
Big swing and a miss. Harris had a single to begin the first. Stranded there. Nubbed back to the mound. And Harris beats it out. Lando might be the fastest player in this regional. This coach calls him a Bo Jackson type, an all-around excellent athlete.
Yeah, you know a guy's fast when he beats out a ground ball to the pitcher. That is the atypical, really fast guy right there. Because, I mean, yes, Hutch Weaver took a little bit too much time, but he couldn't have done it a whole lot faster than he just did.
So we have a play under review. It is being challenged by Tennessee. We do have replay in the regional and then the Little League World Series. All the televised games have replay review, and this is a reviewable play.
Here it is again. Change up down and away. Lando's busting it out of the thing, and you can see Hutch a little soft over to the base. But, man, it sure
we
looks
got to
like
slow
he's
that
safe.
down.
What do you think,
Bang,
Anish?
bang. Managers have unlimited successful challenges, but after 2 unsuccessful challenges in the first 6 innings, they lose the ability to challenge.
Well, I'm looking at it from Tennessee's spot. I got a chance with nobody on base, a 3-run lead, and 2 outs, or I got the fastest guy in the region on base with 1 out and the middle of the lineup coming up. This is a no-brainer to make this call on the review.
Yeah, he's safe.
I think he's safe.
I'm with you. I didn't see anything to overturn it.
There's a breakdown a little. You just don't know when those first initial plastic spikes start to touch.
And again, if there's that gray area, you default to the call on the field.
Correct. Guy closest to the play, Scott Wacker, first base umpire, was perfect position. Locked in on the base and the glove.
Umpires, we remind you, are all volunteers. Just before those, Twitter fingers get going. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Leave the volunteers alone.
The call on the field will stand.
How about Landon Harris? 2 for 2, and he has an infield single to third base and an infield single to the pitcher.
What was the hashtag you had earlier? Speed kills, right?
Speed kills. Yep. I think I'm going to try to pitch him up in the zone and try to get pop-ups.
Eli Kakaris, and there's Satinoff again. He's played a Gold Glove second base through the first 3 innings.
What a great play. First pitch fastball stays inside of it, and Satinoff just leaves his feet to keep this ball. Great play.
Only 34 pitches for Weaver. He's been economical, and Kelly, first pitch swinging. That's a fair ball. Harris can fly. He's around third, being waved home. Harris will score, and into third with a stand-up triple and an RBI is Carter Kelly.
First pitch fastball down and in, gets a lefty-lefty matchup. First at bat in the first inning, lined out to shortstop, so he was right on it. And and you knew right when he hit that ball and it got past the first baseman, Harris was going to score from first. I'm not sure if I've seen that dance at third base before. What about you, Anish?
First one for me. I like the exuberance, though.
I do like the exuberance. I'm just trying to figure out if it's got a name, where we're at with that one, because I hadn't seen that one before.
Fernando Tatis Jr. on line one.
Well, we talked about being very careful. Here it is again. But we talked about being very careful in certain spots, and right now the tying run is Nolan Oglesby, 2 for 5, 3 RBI, and they are being very cautious with breaking balls down out of the zone.
And Oglesby's on, so the tying run at first, and here's Kersher. Popped out to second his first time up. 3 for 6 in this regional, and if you're South Carolina, this is your chance back into this ball game.
Yeah, I mean, how big is it? All started on a ground ball to the pitcher that Landon Harris busted it out of the box. All of a sudden, here's a triple, scores a run. It's 3-1 right now instead of having 2 outs and a man on third or first and third. Now you got a little bit of something happen right here with Kirshner.
They call him Jackpot. A second time through the lineup, Greg, it seems they're seeing it a little bit better against Weaver.
Yeah, it kind of left it last inning, but with left-handed pitchers, he's working glove side with fastballs and soft stuff away. So there's a fastball inside part of the plate, and that's meant to speed up the hitter's bat. And then all of a sudden he goes with a changeup down and away or something soft away, or like a BP fastball or something of that nature, and the hitter's way out front and just rolls over a ground ball.
That one gets away, not far enough for an advance. And yeah, this is an interesting spot too, because you see this in Little League, Greg. First and third, got 2 outs, 2 strike count on the hitter. Yeah, do you send the runner from first, even if he gets caught in a rundown? You give Kelly from third a chance to score, get at least one more run.
Well, I would have liked Oglesby jumping on that first breaking ball in the dirt. You know that Shepler's probably not going to throw the ball down. Worst case scenario, you get into a rundown. I love the fact that Shepler, we didn't talk about it, but Shepler did a great job blocking that pitch right before that, keeping it in front. And you talked about how important catchers are, man. If you have a catcher that can't block a ball in the dirt, or your guy throws too hard and he has trouble catching the fastball, it's a nightmare for a Little League coach to have balls going to the backstop all day. There is nothing you can do.
Grounded foul again, so Kersher battling. Big fan of the Atlanta Braves and Virginia Tech. Hunger Games, Shark Tank. Likes a good chicken parm.
I like a good chicken parm.
Who doesn't like a good chicken parm?
And we just had Kirshner just took off on a foul ball. You could just see Tanner Jackson threw the ball back to the mound, and he's standing there looking at Kirshner running down to first base going, wait, what just happened?
The 1-2 in the air to left field, and caught by Boer. South Carolina on the board, an RBI triple from Carter Kelly.
the season.
No regrets. Swing it, baby, swing it.
It is dropping, the dive, and the catch is made.
Whatever happens, guys, again, it's going to be a great day. Very proud of you guys. All right, let's have some great fun today, huh?
Top 4 in Warner Robins, Georgia, 3-1 Tennessee. Different format once we get to Williamsport this year. Because of COVID, no international teams will participate in the Little League World Series. 16 U.S. teams will be split into 2 divisions named for 2 late baseball legends, Hank Aaron and Tom Seaver. The champions will play in the Little League Baseball World Series from each of those 2 divisions. So, again, in the 8 regionals that we have, 2 teams from the regionals will make it. The semifinal winners all go to Williamsport. The championship game, which will be Wednesday here in Warner Robins, that will determine seeding once you get to Williamsport. But really, it's that semifinal game that determines who will go. We're down to 4 teams. 2 will make it. And it'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the Tennessee lineup. Pinch hitter here is Mateo Braziz. .70 pitches now for Josiah Rao. 85 is the maximum a kid can throw at this level.
I love that. I love Little League Baseball having these rules in place, the day-to-day, amount of pitches that they can throw and come back. 20 pitches is a lot to throw and come back for a major leaguer, and little leaguers are doing it. But if you don't put these rules in place, man, it's going to be hard to take somebody out. And I just love the fact that Little League Baseball mandates no more than 85 pitches. I've seen that too often of kids just throwing too many.
A leadoff walk to Braziz. Well, we see it now, Greg, with kids 11, 12 years old having Tommy John surgery.
It's, it goes to breaking balls at too young of an age. Their bodies, haven't fully finished growing, and they're throwing these breaking balls. It's just not healthy for the elbow, for the shoulders, I hate to do the when we grew up thing, but man, it was just all fastballs, and if you had a changeup, great.
One of the things, talking to a lot of college coaches this year, you're starting to see it at the major league level too. A team like Louisville comes to mind where philosophically, from a pitching standpoint, as this one is driven out to right center field, and there's Harris. Those long strides, he covers a lot of ground, one away. But the point was, they're trying to teach kids, Greg, now to use the changeup as your secondary pitch instead of the breaking ball.
You know what, that was the way it used to be. My dad coached for 35 years in high school. I couldn't throw a breaking ball until I was 13. And then when I was 14, I got to throw 2 a game. And yeah, my breaking ball's not that great when I'm in high school, but it's not about that. It's about I'm throwing 85 or whatever, that amount of fastballs, and if you throw a good changeup, it looks like a fastball, and you're still using the arm speed of a fastball. The breaking ball, you slow things down a little bit, you spin the ball, you're creating, movement by the spin that's just not really healthy at this age on your elbow. We have a little mound conversation right here. I don't know if anybody's warming up in the bullpen. Oh, I like this. Got Cole Brancata coming over from first base. There's a little bit of a conversation about what they want to do, and it might be, hey, they're getting such a big lead over first base, give me a back pick. Just a way of, finding a way to get an out right here.
Three balls, the count to Case and Boer. John Rhodes flew out the previous at-bat, so Tennessee has satisfied the mandatory play requirements. Everybody on the team has batted once, and now 2 on, 1 out. And this is the danger zone in this lineup now for Rao. He's at 79 pitches, one, maybe two more batters at the most. And you've got Newell and you've got Brown, a couple of guys who can leave the yard.
Yeah, Newell, a nice piece of hitting with a breaking ball. First pitch, last at bat. Gets the same breaking ball again, just pulls it foul. You're absolutely right. We're getting into the danger zone. That was a big walk to lead off the inning to Razis, and then another one to Boer. But we're probably going to see this is Rao's probably his last hitter, I would think. 80 pitches already this heat.
Breaking ball high. Now, we told you 85 pitches is the upper limit, but if you start an at-bat under the threshold, let's say you start the at-bat at 81 or 82 and you end up going over 85, you're allowed to finish the at-bat. So you don't have to come out midway through an at-bat, but that is the threshold. So if he wants to face Brown, he's got to get Newell before he gets to 85.
Yeah, so in effect, this is, he's got to get Newell right here. If he wants to face Brown, he's got to get to him at 84. Not allowed to start a new hitter at 85.
Three and two, so this will be the last batter for Josiah Rao, no matter what. Nolan Brown, who's homered already, is on deck. And the bases are loaded for Brown, and we'll get a pitching change for South Carolina. 3 walks in the inning.
I mean, other than the Nolan Brown home run in the first inning, he gives up an infield single. That's the other run. He's pitched really well. It could very easily be a 2-1 game.
I know we're going to do it. Hold him. Come in. Are you not lining up over the plate?
I am. I'm lining right on.
What are those missing at?
They're not missing. He's just not calling. I'm lining up right on.
Hey, you did awesome, dude. Good job. Hey, you on the right field right now, okay?
What you're doing is
Pound the zone, dude. Pound the zone. Throw strikes.
A pitching change for South Carolina. Nolan Brown, who's got 3 home runs in the regional, up with the bases loaded.
The new pitcher for South Carolina is number 24, Holden Koss. Number 2, Josiah Rao moves to right field.
Holden Koss will come in to pitch. He'll swap places with Josiah Rao. So Rao in right field, Koss from right field to the mound. Nickname Hoko. Parents Jennifer and Robert. Has an older brother Brody who played in this Southeast Regional a couple of years ago. Young man wants to be a doctor and likes to visit and play with the puppies at the Greenville Humane Society. He'll face Nolan Brown. 3 home runs in this regional, 1 today, up with the bases loaded. First pitch outside, 1-0.
You heard the coach Chris Ballou asking if the catcher was setting up off the plate because he was asking where those fastballs were. Outside corner, it looked like they were just a little bit off, and no matter what Cole Bracata could do, he was not able to frame him back into the strike zone of home plate umpire Jonathan Hagan. I love it. I'm sitting up right in the middle of the plate. I don't know where those balls are. Nice smooth swing, a lot of power, a lot of pop.
Team captain, most consistent hitter. The 1-2, fights one off into left field. And it drops. Kelly can't make the play. 2-run score, and it's 5-1 Tennessee.
A nice piece of hitting, fastball up and in. Stays inside of it, Nolan Brown did, and you can see Carter Kelly just got himself turned around, and if he had been able to get back and spin the other way so he's facing the ball, man, I can't tell you how hard that ball is to catch a long fly ball over your shoulder.
All right, this one to the backstop. Runners trying to advance, and safe. Ryan Newell makes it safely to third, and we may take a look at this. The throw beat him.
Fastball off the backstop. Nice job by the catcher.
I think he got
Looks
in
like
there.
He gets in there. Yeah.
Kakara saying, hey, let's challenge this one, but it does not appear they will.
It's also by Mercado right there. Get that ball tipped off of his glove on the swing. Big pitch right here.
This one gets away. And a nice play by Brancati to cover that one up like a hockey goalie.
Shepler had a double to left field in the first inning. His first hit of the region. Got another
Shepler
one.
snagged by Oglesby. No advance. 2 outs.
That was a big pitch right there. Runners on second and third. Game slipping away a little bit right here. 5-1. Gets a jam shot to first base.
Hutch Weaver now. He has walked twice, and he's been on base almost every time in this regional. 5 hits, 4 walks, and he's been hit by a pitch twice.
The bigger question is, when hasn't he been on base?
Just once. This one gets away, but not far enough for an advance. Weaver does not talk a whole lot. Lefty pitcher. Favorite song? Man in Black by Johnny Cash.
Like that. My favorite one was if he wins the lottery, he's buying Braves season tickets. Holden Koss has gotten a little bit erratic with the fastball in the zone. Couple balls to the backstop. See if he can get it back into the plate here.
Kelly makes the play this time, and that'll do it. Tennessee picks up a couple more on the hit by Brown. He's driven in 4 today.
Lily Southeast Farms, tobacco-free complex. This includes vapes,
You can find Little League on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the official handles at Little League. Follow the action and join the conversation with the hashtag LLWS. Anish Shroff, Greg Olson with you. Warner Robins, Georgia got a raucous crowd. Tennessee and South Carolina in an elimination game. We go to the home half of the fourth inning. Remember, Greg, when this was your whole universe, 12 years old, 11 years old, playing in Little League, everything else on the outside didn't matter. This was your bubble to be naive, to be innocent, to be 12 again, huh?
Oh man, you didn't care if you didn't have any hits last game. As long as your team won, you didn't care about stats. It was a great time with your buddies in the neighborhood. They all got together and did the All-Stars.
South Carolina not going away. Satinoff, who's been superb at second, could not come up with that one. And the leadoff runner on for Taylor, South Carolina, Jacob Ballou.
Yeah, Ballou, second hit of the game, got a single through shortstop in the second, so he's 2 for 2 on the day.
Holden Koss now the hitter. Favorite athlete is Kevin Durant. His favorite baseball player, Jazz Chisholm of the Marlins. Wrap to the left side, hit weakly. They get the lead runner. Koss at first on the fielder's choice.
Well, after the gold medal game, Kevin Durant is my favorite athlete as well. You're just filling it up in the first half, keeping USA in the game. But Hutch Weaver doing what he's been doing all game long, which is fastballs in and soft changeups or BP fastballs down and away. And gets Holden Koss on something soft down and away, rolls over a ground ball to shortstop. And that tip your cap, man. If you've never played shortstop and had a third baseman dive in front of your ground ball, Ryan Pearson did a great job of staying on focus and on target. Tanner Jackson got in front of him, dove. It's very distracting, and Ryan Pearson was able to secure the out at second base.
Pinch hitter here is Graham Suttles. Again, mandatory play requirements for both teams. When you have 13 players, everybody has to bat at least once. How about Suttles? He's got a golden retriever named after his dad's favorite player and one of your old teammates, Ripken.
Yeah, my favorite player too. Yeah, he was, God, what a great teammate. Always there. Everything was a game to him. You talk about competitive. He would make a tape ball game out of something, in between batting practice and the game. He'd be doing something in the clubhouse and it'd become a game, 30 minutes before we have a Major League Baseball game on the field at Camden Yards. He's fiddling around playing tape ball.
On the ground to third, Jackson gets the force at second. Now, when you came up, were all three of the Ripkins there? Was it Cal Sr., Cal, and Billy?
I had Cal and Billy when I came up in 1988. Cal Sr. started the season and got fired after 6 games. And the Orioles went on to lose 21 that year. I got drafted in June and made it up, and it was Cal and Billy. And then I think it was 1990, Cal Sr. came back and was our third base coach. So I had all 3 of them for a couple years.
What was the coolest part of that family dynamic, getting to see that up close and personal?
It was the Ripken way of playing baseball. So Ripken has their own league. It's the way you played, the way the Orioles played for decades. It's just traditional, fundamental, great defense, good pitching. And that was the way the Ripken brothers played. They knew exactly where to be. Every time I'd turn around and I'd be on the mound in a big situation, I was amazed how many times Ripken had moved or shaded himself knowing how I pitched and who was hitting.
Drew Thompson nubs one in front of the plate, and the catcher Shepler makes the play. Leadoff single for South Carolina, but a man stranded. 5-1 Tennessee through 4.
this is one of the great days of the year.
Those kids will never forget that the rest of their lives.
Players take a trip down memory lane just a bit.
For me, I always wanted to come here. I never got to come here. Cool experience.
To be a part of these kids' memories forever is going to be really special for us.
If you love this game, this is one of the great days of the year.
Those kids will never forget that the rest of their lives.
Players take a trip down memory lane just a bit.
For me, I always wanted to come here. I never got to come here. Cool experience.
To be a part of these kids' memories forever is going to be really special for us.
In the Little League Classic, we'll see the Angels and we'll see the Cleveland Indians, still the Indians, they're the Guardians next year. We get to see Shohei Ohtani, former Little League hero in Japan and now international sensation. And I tell you what, it doesn't matter how well or how much English he speaks. We get all these questionnaires from kids and we ask them, who's your favorite athlete? Who's your favorite baseball player? So many of them, Greg, said Shohei Ohtani. What he has done this year, unprecedented in the history of the game. Even Babe Ruth didn't put up the combined numbers in the same season that Shohei Ohtani's put up.
No, he's doing to Major League Baseball what some of these guys do in Little League, which is just, hit, pitch, do everything for their team. And you're watching it at the Major League level. It's almost shocking. I got somebody put together the numbers of Babe Ruth when he pitched and hit, and the numbers are not even close. And
No.
Babe Ruth is about the only guy of any era that has pitched and hit successfully at the Major League level. It's
Ohtani,
shocking.
37 home runs. He leads the majors. He's got a sub-3 ERA.
It's what he's doing is shocking. It really is. The strikeouts, the home runs. I'm thankful that they, were able to keep him as a DH most of the time. He's getting a little bit of right field time, but not very much. I couldn't see the stress on his arm, keeping up.
You played more than a decade in the bigs. You saw great hitters. You saw great pitchers. You saw the preparation that goes into each art and each position. Could you even fathom doing both?
I did it in high school. I came to college initially, was trying to be a first base pitcher, and I couldn't do it both ways in college. And so knowing what Ohtani probably has to go through with batting practice, with throwing, with bullpens, the maintenance on both sides, that in itself is a full-time job.
Drew Wagner is the hitter now. Second at bat. He pinch hit in the third.
Wagner coming off the bench for the thing I already talked about. He's 4 for 7 or 4 for 8 now. He had a grand slam, 8 RBIs, and he doesn't start the game. So it's almost like a sixth man in basketball. Okay, where do I need Drew Wagner at today? And you don't station him in one position in the batting order. He came up in the where did he come up at? It's in the third inning with the bases loaded. And he struck out, but that wasn't the point. It was he came up in a huge situation and had a chance to do some damage.
The shades are gone, though. No more sunglasses this time.
Hey, baseball players are superstitious, man. It doesn't work. That's done with that one. Try to move on. Nice pitch by Holden Koss right there.
So Wagner down on strikes.
I think Holden
2 outs,
Koss
nobody on.
Might have that terminology, effectively wild. You know, we've seen some balls go to the backstop, and then all of a sudden, you know, he throws a good pitch away, and then ball to the backstop.
Pearson sends one deep to left field, one hop and over the wall. Automatic double for Ryan Pearson.
Pearson was hoping somebody was going to put the finger up in the air and circle it around a little bit. Usually you see the left fielder put his arms up as in a ground rule double. Carter Kelly did not. Bounce off the track. There's Landon Harris putting the arms up.
Will Satinoff comes up now with a man in scoring position. Tennessee in this regional, they beat Alabama 23-0. They led Georgia 5-0 going into the bottom of the 6th, and Georgia scored 6 runs. Then they beat West Virginia 11-3. That loss to Georgia, it was one bad inning. They've had one bad inning in this regional. Otherwise, they could easily be playing in the late game today and playing for a spot in Williamsport.
Yeah, 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th is shocking to a team of this caliber. But you got to tip your cap for them coming back yesterday, bouncing back and getting the job done against a good West Virginia team.
Won that game 11-3. We'll see Georgia and Florida in a semifinal game tonight. The winner of that game on to Williamsport. Again, 2 teams from each regional make it this year. No international teams in the 2021 field. So the semifinal winners will determine who goes to Williamsport from the regional, and then Wednesday's championship will determine seeding once you're in Williamsport.
I never had the opportunity to get to one of those games like tonight between Georgia and Florida where, you know, team wins and they're going to Williamsport. I think I got to a regional. We got knocked out in a single elimination game, and that was it. But I'm trying to run through it in my mind of, you know, is there going to be less pressure on Georgia and Florida because they still got another opportunity to play tomorrow if they lose? Or is it going to be, you know, a little bit more stressful knowing that they win and they move on right away? I don't know how to look at it from my baseball side of it.
Yeah, I would imagine, listen, if you're Georgia and Florida, you know you have a safety net. Ball 4, runner will advance on the wild pitch, 1st and 3rd, 2 outs. You've got the safety net where if you lose, you can play again in a semifinal the next day. But hey, if you win, you also get Tuesday off, and you can set up your pitching for a potential championship game. You also, again, now don't have the pressure of having a winner-take-all game on Tuesday. For Tennessee and South Carolina, the winners of this game, whoever wins this game,
yeah, we're going
has
blue,
to win one more time
blue,
to get to Williamsport.
Going to JB. JB, you got to really get in there on the grass, okay? All right. Cut him down at 3rd if you have to. All right? Yep.
Pitch it. If he goes, just stay on the mound. And don't try to throw. Don't
hold him. Make him swing it, boy. Make him hit it. Hey, have fun. Deep breath. Have fun.
Yeah. So Greg, it looks like they're worried about a potential double steal here.
Yeah. So you walk out and make sure that you set it. You don't have enough time. You know, this isn't like a major league season where you have enough time to put in plays. You don't have to have this conversation. So you know something's going to happen, and you are telling them exactly what to do. I think they're going to throw down to second base, or they're going to trip and fall. And
executed perfectly by Tennessee. 6-1, and moving to second is Rhodes.
That was so Chris Ballou came out and said throw it down to second, and you can see the acting job right there by Satinoff to fall down, distract the catcher a little bit. He throws it down to first, and as soon as he makes that throw to first base, you can see Pearson is off from 3rd and no chance for Oglesby to make the play back. That situation, you know, you tell the kid that run's too important, we can't afford it, and you just don't want to even throw it. Just let whatever's going to happen on second base happen.
Bounce to short, and Boer is retired. Little strategy by Tennessee, getting funky on the bases. 6-1. Flashback to Saturday. Georgia entered the the sixth inning against Tennessee. Down 5-0. Hudson Clark completes a thrilling comeback with a 2-run walk-off single. Georgia wins 6-5. So Florida-Georgia line tonight. That's a semifinal, a spot in Williamsport, and Wednesday's championship on the line. Now the loser of that Florida-Georgia game will play the winner of Tennessee-South Carolina in another semifinal game set for tomorrow. Anish Shroff, Greg Olson with you, bottom 5. South Carolina has the top of the order, and it feels like with 6 outs to go in what is an elimination game, this may be the last best chance for Taylor, South Carolina.
Yeah, and it comes in the form of Landon Harris finding a way to get on base.
And he does again, his third base hit, 2 infield singles, but hey, he's got 3 line drives in the box score.
In the box score, I was about to say, well, I'm not sure what happened there, unless we had some interference on the first baseman while Landon Harris was trying to round the bag. But I was about to say, he's 2 for 2 going into that at bat with a grand total of 60 feet. Nice line drive back up the box. I'm going to assume that he ran into the first baseman, or there was a little bit of impeding by Nolan Brown at first base while Landon Harris was rounding it.
We'll get a mound visit. Hutch Weaver at 59 pitches. I think we want an explanation here. That looks to be
Randy
right
Huff.
here. Yep. And they're going to call interference right there on Nolan Brown in the baseline.
Not much.
So
it's not much. Nolan Brown was standing there watching the play and getting ready to probably move into a different position to back up the throw coming in, but in any way of impeding the runner in his way to second base, even if he's not going or if there's any sort of contact and the defensive player is in that position, it's a no-brainer. An easy call for first base umpire Scott Wacker.
Hey, we're fine.
Randy Hoot,
we're up
the
6-1.
manager,
okay, We just got to take out.
For Tennessee, a 42-year-old candle maker.
All right, we're not going to let him have third, though. All right, but I don't care too much about him. We got to get outs. All right, if he scores, he scores. All right, but we need outs. All right, let's go. Come on, Hutch, go right after him, bud.
You like that approach, right? Hey, we'll give you the run. Right now, we're counting outs.
That's exactly it. I'm looking at it going, South Carolina has 6 outs left. And if I get 6 outs and I give up 1 run, I don't really care about that 1 run. You want Hutch to throw strikes and do what he's been doing, which is fastballs inside, changeups away. You're not going to spend a whole lot of time worrying about Landon Harris because his one run is still only going to cut the lead to 6-2.
Oh, 2 on Eli Kakaris. Gabe Shepler's done a really nice job behind the plate. He's kept pitches in front of him. He's done a good job of neutralizing any running game. We talked about the importance of the backstop in Little League.
Well, look at him. He's got to walk out 5 or 6 feet, make sure that Harris is moving his way back to second base, and then he will give the ball back up to the pitcher. We didn't get a chance to talk about, he made a great play to end the 4th inning on a swinging bunt by Rao, where he comes up, gets out of the throwing lane, and makes a perfect throw to first base for the out to end the inning.
Kakaris down on strikes, and Carter Kelly now the hitter. Kelly's RBI triple in the 4th drove in the lone South Carolina run.
He's been swinging it pretty well. He lined out to shortstop in the 1st inning, triple down the right field line in the 3rd that you just spoke about.
Well, that was another good play by Shepler. He held on to the ball instead of throwing it.
You know what? If you're sitting there watching this game at home, it looks like nothing really happened. But I'm looking at it going, Shepler made a great block, perfectly blocked straight down on a ball in the dirt, and then scoops it quickly. And then I look at it the other side, Landon Harris, as soon as he sees that ball hit the dirt, he took off, knowing that the odds of Shepler blocking and picking and making a perfect throw to get him out were just astronomically slim. So great play all around.
Harris now 60 feet away, and it looks like we'll get a pinch hitter. Grayson Lanich, 1 for 2 in this regional, will step in.
Well, as you talked about, they have mandatory playing time in Little League Baseball. And right now, South Carolina has 3 guys that have not batted. Drew Thompson.
Well, Thompson would be the last one. Suttles and Veranu batted, and Thompson
my bad.
Still needs to bat. So and now the question is, can you, I guess you can pinch hit mid at bat. We've seen that, so it should be okay.
Well, it's just kind of the one guy who's got your biggest hit of the game you're going to pinch hit for right here.
Now this is where, teams that have more depth, like a Tennessee, have the advantage. You can plug in your guys early. Yeah, now you're in toward the end of the game, that kind of situation, and you haven't had everybody qualify for those mandatory play limits, and you got to get your players in.
Yeah, the question here that they're going through right now is, with a 1-0 count, will this count as a substitution? And they are trying to decide that right now.
Lanich, favorite team, South Carolina Gamecocks. Loves to watch snowboarding, and he's got some skills on the pogo stick. Will do some bike jumps off a ramp, can wake surf, so there's a adventurous side here.
I think my favorite thing about his bio is his favorite movie is Hacksaw Ridge. just don't see that in the bios in the 2000s right now.
Favorite video game is Call of Duty, so very on brand. Parents Jeremy and Nicole. He's got an older brother, Joe. A runner at third in Harris. It's 6-1 Tennessee. South Carolina down to its final 5 outs. So here's the rules for mandatory play. If a team has 13 or 14 players, which South Carolina does, they have 13, everyone has to bat at least once. You don't see anything in there about can you insert that player to bat once when an at-bat has already started. So that may be the confusion here. I don't think there's anything in the rule book that specifies whether you can or you can't bring in a guy on a 1-0 count and have that satisfy mandatory play.
Well, that's the issue. I mean, if it goes the other way, a pitcher comes in a 1-0 count and walks the guy, it's the prior pitcher's at bat. And so there are some weird rules in baseball that are making this a little bit more difficult than it would seem to be. I mean,
and you can see why South Carolina, and you can see why South Carolina wants to get Lanich in now, because you've got Oglesby and then Kersher. Those are your two big boppers. You want to give yourself a chance. Those guys will need to hit, but then you still have Thompson who needs to get an at-bat.
Yeah, well, you're looking at it going, okay, where are we at that I'm going to, yes, if something happens right here, which is unlikely to get a double play, Oglesby's going to bat. So then you got Kirshner leading off, and maybe you pinch hit for, Jacob Ballou and Holden Koss later on. I don't know. I don't know why the rush right here. Carter Kelly's got your biggest hit of the game. But, again, I haven't been with these kids for 14, 15 games.
All right, so let's see if we can figure out how they're going to clear this up. All right, so that will not satisfy mandatory play. So Lanich's at-bat on a 1-0 count would not satisfy mandatory play. It appears they figured that out. So Kelly will get to resume his at-bat. Now Lanich will still have to bat in this game, as does Drew Thompson.
Yeah, like I said, there are some baseball rules that that one kind of runs up against them, and I don't know, I'm sure they had to run through and probably get to Williamsport and find out the exact answer that they needed.
Oh, Greg, now it becomes almost imperative for Kelly to get on base here.
I totally agree. But the situation itself, it's 6-1. You need runs, you need guys on base, and you're trying to, fit these mandatory rules in and get these kids their playing time. But, the aspect is if you don't score a couple runs here, it's all going to be a moot point in the 6th.
Now, I beg your pardon, Drew Thompson has batted already. So Thompson has satisfied mandatory play. It's just Lanich who needs to bat. 2-2.
Landon Harris is giving catcher Gabe Shepler fits. He keeps walking down, catches the ball, walks down, makes sure Harris gets back to third base. He is not going to throw this ball softly back to Hutch Weaver. Not going to give Landon Harris the chance of disrupting this game any more than he already has, being 3 for 3.
Three balls and 2 strikes. Oglesby is on deck, who's got some power.
Yeah, this is a big pitch right here. He gets on base, and all of a sudden Oglesby comes up, and he's got a chance for a 3-run home run.
Kelly able to work the walk, so here comes Oglesby. We saw Georgia have the comeback on Tennessee. Can South Carolina pull it off? And now we'll get the pinch hitter, Lanich. Yep.
Big spot right here. Oglesby just missed in the first inning on a home run.
Throw down to third into left field. Harris will score. And sliding safely into third is Kelly, so it's 6-2. And another run 60 feet away.
Well, like I said, Harris has been in Shepler's head, so he's going to do a snap throw. Problem is, with a right-handed hitter, if he was going to do it, it would have been much better with Carter Kelly, the left-handed hitter. He's got to go over the top of Lanich. The throw being a little bit high, goes into left field. Harris scores easily.
Now, Greg, put the coaching hat on here. You go back to the dugout. What do you tell Gabe Shepler? Was that throw necessary?
It would be. I love the aggressiveness. I love the assertiveness of you going and attacking this out.
RBI single for Lanich at 6-3. Don't sleep on South Carolina just yet.
But I would say great, I love the aggressiveness. I love the shot, trying to get this big out right here. But the situation dictates, let's let them hit their way on base. Let's not give them an extra shot, and it's a tough throw, especially with the right-handed hitter in the box. He doesn't move. You got to go over the top of him. That would probably be the conversation.
You did a great job. Go ahead, Drew, finish it up.
That will be all for Hutch
Hey, Pearson,
Weaver.
you be ready to go if we need you, okay?
After 72 pitches, it looks like they're going to call on Drew Wagner to close it out.
All right, hey, hold on.
We'll try to get the final 5 outs. South Carolina threatening 2 in, 1 out. Still batting here in the 5th.
So he's got to. So Tanner's got to come out. He's out. You're going to go to third. You're going to go to You're still at second. And you go to right. Okay.
All right, we got some serious guys moving around now.
Yeah. So who's out? 2 runs in for South Carolina, bottom 5. Both teams have now satisfied all the mandatory play requirements. And he'll face Jack Kersher, one of the big boppers in this lineup, the number 5 hitter. 3 for 7 in this regional with a couple of doubles.
Wagner pitched on Saturday. Didn't get any outs, threw 5 pitches, gave up a couple of hits in that tough ending against Georgia. And for me, being a closer, personally, man, I wanted to get back out there as soon as I could and get that next guy out and just erase all those negative thoughts.
How did you flush one out when you had one of those? How did you flush it out?
Oh man, it really did. I had to get back out there the next day or the next time I got out there and had a successful outing. It was flushed, but until I did, if I sat around for 3 or 4 days, I was thinking about that outing for those 3 or 4 days. It took me a new outing to flush it. So I'm happy that he can get out here in a little bit cleaner situation, and gets a chance to flush that one out of his system and move forward. I like the way he's attacking the zone right now. Good fastball. We saw a breaking ball that just missed.
A 2-1 pitch coming to Kersher. And he swings through a fastball, 2-2.
South Carolina just keeps pecking away, getting a couple runs right here. You just feel like at the top of their order with Kirshner and Ballou, or in the middle of their order, put something else together, make this thing tighten it up a little bit.
Even at the very least, if you don't tie the game, you can at least move the lineup over and give a Harris, a Kakaris, a Chance in that 6th inning.
Well, the adage in Major League Baseball is just trying to keep it within a grand slam, and they've done that. They got it to within a 3-run home run. And so you feel a little bit more comfortable. A 5-run lead, man, you got to have a lot happen to close that gap. But a 3-run lead is 2 guys getting on and a bomb.
Driven out to right field. And caught by Drucy for the 2nd out. So Jacob Ballou is the hitter who's due up.
See Wagner out there. It's hot. Trying to get some deep breath. Sorry, partner.
Ballou shaking his head.
He didn't like that breaking ball. I think that might be the first call that I would say that home plate umpire Jonathan Hagan might have missed. That breaking ball is a little bit high and now puts Ballou in a hole 0-2.
Back-to-back breaking balls to start off Ballou. Wagner's got that closer snarl down. 0-2 to right field. Drucy is back, makes the catch, and that'll do it. Welcome back to the Little League World Series on ESPN, presented by T-Mobile. Little League would like to extend a special thank you to its official sponsors like Major League Baseball's Play Ball Initiative, who help to maintain the strength and the leadership of the Little League program. Little League would also like to thank its dedicated volunteers who make the program a special experience for millions of children. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Tennessee. Top of the 6th. They only play 6 at this level. And Tennessee looking for some insurance after South Carolina scraped across a couple of runs in the bottom of the 5th.
And now it's on Holden Koss, pitcher for South Carolina, to keep the lead right there at 6-3. He's done a nice job. Gave up a leadoff double to Nolan Brown in the 4th. Pretty solid after that, and it's held Tennessee right where they were at.
Ryan Newell today, a single, a walk. His favorite baseball player is Bryce Harper. Favorite athlete, Deion Sanders, now the head football coach at Jackson State. Of course, Deion was a baseball player too.
Yeah, I ran into him briefly with the Braves. Former teammate. Ryan Newell and I share the same thing. Favorite movie, Field of Dreams.
Second best baseball movie of all time.
Ouch, what's first?
The Natural.
All right. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. That was pretty good. I don't know, Field of Dreams just always does something.
Yeah.
Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. We got that game coming up on Thursday, White Sox, Yankees.
Newell aboard with a walk, and here is Nolan Brown, 4 RBI today, including a 2-run home run in the first.
You can tell he's been around a clubhouse or two, couple batting cages, great swing. First pitch fastball in the first inning, 2-run home run. Lines out to center field in the third and then has a double to left field. So he is a human spray chart walking up to the plate right now.
Get some ground ball out. She did awesome. You're going to first base, all right? Good job, good job. Hey, keep it down. You're really up against Georgia. Keep it down, all right?
Good job, Hooker.
All right, guys, roll it in the middle. Jack, roll it in the middle. Ground ball.
Well, we get a new pitcher. It's going to be Oglesby, and he'll have to get Nolan Brown, who has driven in 10 runs in this regional, 4 of them today. You mentioned his baseball ties. Dad Scott, the pitching coach at Vanderbilt, and you know, in all the questionnaires that we give to these players, we ask, what's the coolest place you've traveled? What's your dream destination? I like what Nolan Brown said. Coolest place he's been to? Omaha for the College World Series, which Vanderbilt won in 2019. They played in the finals just a few months ago, but he said the place he really wants to go is Williamsport.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, getting to Omaha and watching his dad's team. Speaking of Omaha, there you go. We had Tennessee and Vanderbilt in Omaha this past season.
2015.
Nolan Brown looks like he's about 5 years old.
As the saying goes, if you have kids, they grow up fast. So Koss goes to first base. Oglesby on the mound. Nolan Brown at the plate.
I like the fact that, you know, head coach Chris Ballou took Oglesby out of the game, put Lanich at first, and gave Oglesby a chance to go down and warm up for, you know, at least a couple of hitters.
Brown wraps one into right field. Another hit for him. His third of the day. Moving to second is Newell. 2 on, nobody out.
Nice piece of hit, and it'll go down as a line drive in the book.
I'll tell you what, Greg, Nolan Brown, he's 10 for 14 now in this regional.
Yeah, he is. He's tearing it up. A couple 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. This is just a nice piece of hit and fastball inside part of the plate. It gets down the bat just a little bit, but still on a good trajectory, good swing. It keeps the line moving.
All right, looks like we'll get a pinch runner for Nolan Brown. Shepler's the batter, squaring to bunt. Doesn't have to, it gets away. And that works just like a sacrifice. Second and third and nobody out.
Shepler 1 for 3 on the day. A double into left field in the first inning. Now you got to bring the infield in if you're South Carolina. You can't afford to give up any more runs. You just close the gap.
Well, they're playing back.
I mean, I understand you don't want to give up some seeing eye ground ball where it scores 2, but you can't afford to give up 1 right now. You know, you got to hope that you brought your guy in, Oglesby, and he's your best guy. I'd be thinking about going, okay, you know what, Shepler's your 4-hole hitter. I might intentionally walk him, load the bases, try to turn 2, bring the infield in, try to cut a play off at the plate.
A 1-2, yeah, a bit of a surprise. The infield is not pulled in, especially considering you're in the final inning of an elimination game.
Yeah, it's, you know, like I said, I've coached Little League. I've had 2 sons roll through it. you get in the thing and you're focused on so many things that it's hard. You almost need somebody sitting behind you going, we have to have the infield in. We have to have the infield in. You almost need that bench coach like Major League Baseball has because you're thinking about so many things.
Well, Oglesby gets Shepler looking, and now to your point, Greg, if you want to walk the next hitter to set up the double play, you can do that.
Well, you got Chicken Man coming up right here is 5 for 7 on the tournament. I'd probably pick him and walk him. And that's going to probably bring up Rocco Stark. I would think they're going to pinch hit for him.
Well, that's not what they wanted. A run scores at 7-3.
Fastball up and away. I couldn't tell with Little League Baseball, the runner can't leave until the ball crosses home plate. So in effect, it's a safety squeeze. So if Hutch Weaver did get this bunt down, the runner can't leave third until the ball crosses home plate. So it's probably a read and react play.
And now the infield's starting to creep in a little bit, but you would think they would be up more. They're playing normal depth, so they're giving up the run, down 4.
Just like I said, there's a lot going on in that dugout, and you're thinking about, he might be calling pitches, and you can see the catcher Veranu looking in. So you're calling pitches. You're not necessarily thinking about all the other aspects going on. You kind of need a bench coach to go, hey, we need the infield in right here. We can't afford to give up another run. But if you guys are sitting at home and you're Little League players, if you can just see at the bottom of that screen, Jack Kirshner, the shortstop, backing up the throw from the catcher to the pitcher.
Grounded to first, the throw home, not in time. They get the out at first. It's 8-3 Tennessee, so South Carolina got 2 in the bottom of the 5th. Tennessee gets 2 right back. And I wonder if they look at this play. That's what Oglesby wants.
Yeah, they're hoping it's a foul ball. Koss is saying it was a foul ball. Oglesby's saying it's a foul ball.
That looks to be a fair ball. It's past the bag.
There's really no call initially from the first base umpire. That's going to be a tough one to overturn. From the viewpoint that we just saw, this will be much better. Ooh. He didn't call anything. He still has, now the only call he's made is out.
Now, a fair or foul ball, that is a reviewable play.
Not very often you're going to see a team try to take an out off the board on a fair or foul call, but on this one, man, you can't afford to give up that out.
Again, that's a tough angle. And initially from that angle, it looked like it went over the bag, but when you reverse the angle, there's certainly more gray area. If we can show that reverse angle one more time, yeah, this is the one.
Well, all it's got to do is go across one piece of that base.
Well, if it goes across the base, right, and it looked like the fielder picked it up before it landed, but again, if it was fair, it goes over the bag, that's a fair ball.
Yes, and so a lot of times you're going to see a left-handed hitter pull this ball, and he's going to be out front when he hits it. And it's going to be just tracking down the line, and right here is the call. Does it go across the base? It looks like it does. It looks like it catches that front piece. Nice play by Holden Koss to come up and make this play, step on the bag, and make an accurate throw towards home plate. I just don't see this one getting overturned.
No. So the issue was apparently the right field umpire, and some of this stuff, we apologize, it's hard for us to see. We're calling these games from home, so we can only see so much. See the right field umpire, foul ball signal.
I don't think it's not his call. It's the first base umpire's call. So he didn't make a call initially. He made the out call. So in effect, that is calling a fair ball because he called the runner out at first base. Usually, you like your umpires to be in tandem on their calls.
It's one of those, again, if that ball bounces and the fielder doesn't pick it up, that very well may have been a foul ball, but he fields that ball behind the bag and it goes over the bag. That's a fair ball. And that's the call. It'll stand. And Drucey's the hitter.
Drucey walked, bases loaded walk in the third. That's a big 2 runs right there. Making South Carolina's job in the bottom of the 6th a lot more difficult. Oglesby quickly ahead 0-2. He's shown a nice little breaking ball, kind of a slider, a little cutter. Got a low arm angle, which is more effective for a slider than it is an overhand curveball.
We're 1-2 the count on Drucey.
I like whoever's calling the pitches in that dugout for South Carolina does a nice job. A couple breaking balls in, and then sets him up for a fastball up and away, and just missed with it.
And that one hit him, so Drucey takes first base. Drucey's a guy, if Tennessee keeps playing, we'll see a little more out of him on the mound, and I hope not only we do, but you get to see him because he's been described as Dan Quisenberry from the left side.
I love that. I mean, it puts a really good description in your head. I think in my career, I've played with one. Oh, man, I hope he's all right. I don't know how much that hurts getting a breaking ball to the front foot. Let's see if Rocco Stark comes in. He came in pinch hit for him in the first inning. Let's see him pinch run, give Drucey a chance to pull it together.
He's trying to Taylor Swift it, shake it off.
Yeah, but back to it. I've only played with one left-handed sidearm pitcher, and it was Mike Myers in Detroit. But man, he gave left-handed hitters fits because lefties don't see lefties very often, and then when you see a sidearmer, it's entertaining to watch.
Mike Myers was one. Tony Fossas was another one.
Oh, yeah. Oakland A, bullpen.
For the kids out there who don't know who Dan Quisenberry was, early to mid-'80s, as dominant a reliever as there was in baseball. Submarine right-hander, pitched for the Royals. Part of that '85 World Series team. Didn't throw hard. It wasn't like today, right? You didn't have to throw triple digits to be a closer.
No, you didn't. He was just effective because, he pretty much wiped out all right-handed hitters and then had a change-up or a breaking ball to lefties. It would mix it up and sink it. It was just showing hitters something that they rarely see, which makes them uncomfortable. And for one time around the order, nice piece of hitting, Tanner Jackson.
Might have a play here at second. It squirts away, 2 on, 2 outs.
Tanner gets his first hit of the day, fastball down and away, stays with it and drives it to center field. when I was talking about Quisenberry, it's just unusual, and it was very unusual in the 70s, 80s to see a guy that was throwing below arm slot, below shoulder length or level, and Quisenberry was a master at it. Man, I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, and all we got for radio and TV was basically the Kansas City Royals. So I grew up watching Quisenberry and George Brett and that whole crew of the 80s.
Hal McRae, those were some good teams. Punch to the right side. This should do it. 2 runs for Tennessee. Last chance for South Carolina. Can they do what Georgia did on Saturday night?
For Tennessee in the top of the 6th, 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 South Carolina error. 2 runners left on base. Pitch count for South Carolina 22.
Final that determines who goes to Williamsport. 2 teams from every regional to the Little League World Series this year. So it's the semifinals that will determine who heads to Williamsport, and then the championship on Wednesday determines seeding. So really, we got 1 semi tonight, another one tomorrow.
Looking forward to tonight's game, Florida, Georgia. Georgia's been just a powerhouse going through this so far in this region. They're running up against Florida. It's going to be a great game. Look forward to calling it with you, Anish.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We have not seen a lot of Florida. They've only played 1 game. Won the opener on Friday, and then Saturday they were supposed to play North Carolina. North Carolina withdrew due to COVID. So Florida moved on to the Monday semifinal without having to play Sunday.
Well, they definitely have a break by letting your pitching set for a day, getting back into it.
Hot shot to third, and Koss retired 1 away. South Carolina down to its final 2 outs.
Solid play right there.
Rocco Stark at third. Brancotti now the hitter. Watches strike 1 from Wagner. I think Brancati's kicking himself a little there. Probably that's when you turn your shoulder and you Roger Dorn it.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm sure somebody in the dugout just screamed, "Wear it." and then the person standing next to him in the dugout just said, "We got ice." Looking for
it was a
any
breaking
way to
ball
get base
too.
runners. Yeah, it's only going to hurt a little bit as we sit here at home and not getting stung by the baseball. It's a habit. It's a hard habit to break of avoiding getting hit by the baseball.
And that time he did it. You can feel the attaboys from the dugout, right?
Yeah, he's looking over there going, all right, I'm good. Of course, you know what? If he'd taken the first one, it would probably been in the hip and buttocks area, which doesn't hurt as much as getting hit in the elbow, but now he's going, oh, wait, that hurt. Well done. Take one for the team. And you can see Drew Wagner came over to give him a fist bump and hope he'd check in on him, make sure he's all right. One of the greater things about Little League Baseball, just the care overall for the other team.
Nice to see the sportsmanship Drew Verano, the hitter, wants to be a broadcaster for ESPN. Special talent is memorizing baseball stats. Pops one up to the catcher. 2 outs. And the last chance for South Carolina, Landon Harris, 3 for 3 today. He scored a couple of runs.
This guy's been solid out in center field, running everything down. 2 infield singles and then a hard ground ball right back up the box. Pretty solid tournament overall. I got him for 5 for 7.
5 runs scored. And he has played a dynamite center field. I mean, Greg, some of the plays where we've seen his range glides out there.
Yeah, he had one that just kind of shocked me, where he ran in front of the right fielder and a ball closer to right field, and I was glad that there was a little bit of communication and the right fielder peeled off. But he made it look easy, perfect angle. And when he gets a chance to lead off and actually steal bases on the pitcher, he's going to wreak havoc. He's got 3 stolen bases, and he's not allowed to leave until the ball's in the catcher's glove. How about that?
Yeah, we have seen his speed on display today. A couple of infield hits. I had 3 and 1, and if you're South Carolina, you just need base runners right now. The uniform tells the story.
Yeah, that pretty much does. Yeah, if you're clean at the end of the day, you didn't have a good day.
(3-1), popped him up. The catch is made by Pearson, and Tennessee survives. They will play in a semifinal tomorrow, and if Tennessee wins tomorrow, they head to Williamsport and the Little League World Series. South Carolina eliminated.
South Carolina made a great effort, keep this game close, battled back, got it within 3. Just unable to keep up with this solid Tennessee team.
For Greg Olson, I'm Anish Shroff. Tennessee will play the loser of tonight's game between Florida and Georgia. Take a break, come back, 7 Eastern, ESPN2. Florida and Georgia playing for a spot in Williamsport and the Little League World Series.